Long time no see. Today, we're going to learn how to write on the stave and the letter names of the notes for both treble clef and bass clef. This is a 5 lines musical stave. When we write on the stave, we need to consider the stem direction. We use up stem when the note head is below the middle line, down stems when the note head is above the middle line. If the note is on the middle line, we can use other directions. Easy peasy. Let's move on to the letter names. I'll teach you the letter names of the notes based on the piano keyboard. The keyboard consists of black keys and white keys. The black keys are grouped in 2 and 3. The white keys are named with the 7 letters of the alphabet. The lines above and below the 5 regular musical staves are called ledger lines. Middle C is on the first ledger line below the regular 5 musical staves of treble clef. This is treble clef. It also calls G clef because it starts on G. The treble clef notes are most commonly above middle C. There are 2 types of notes on the stave: line notes and space notes. Each line and space represent 1 note. Middle C is here. It is a line note. After the line note, there is a space note. The letter after C is D, so D is the space note after middle C. E is the line note after D. F is the space note after E. G is the next line note. A is the next space note. B is the next line note, and then it is C again. This C is 1 octave higher than the middle C. An octave is the distance between one note and the next note bearing its same name. Here's the quick way to remember the letter names of the notes on the treble clef. Space notes are F-A-C-E, face. Line notes are every good boy deserves fruit. Now, let's practice some questions. Let's try to fill in the missing letter names and notes as semi-briefs. This is middle C. Remember we said the black keys are grouped in 2 and 3. C note is just before the black keys that are grouped in 2. We can count from here. On the stave, middle C is here. The memory aid for line note is every good boy deserves fruit. So, E is on the first line, G is on the second line, B is on the third line, D is on the fourth line, and F is on the fifth line. Let's try another one. This is middle C. Count from here. Here is the answer on the stave. Now, let's try to write the letter names of these notes. We can count the notes by different ways. The first way is counting from middle C. For example, middle C is here. So, the space note next to the middle C is D. The second way is counting by the memory aid. For example, the memory aid for treble clef's line notes is every good boy deserves fruit. So, the second line is G. The memory aid for treble clef's space note is F-A-C-E, face. So, this note is F, and this note is C. For line note, every good boy deserves fruit. This note is D, and this note is F. If this note is F, this note is the space note after F, which is G. And this one is the space note before F, which is E. The answer of rest of 4 notes are B, A, E, C. Let's move on to the bass clef. This is bass clef. It also calls F clef because it starts on F. Middle C is on the first ledger line above the bass clef. The notes of bass clef are normally below the middle C. The memory aid of space notes from bass clef is all cows eat grass. For line note is good boys do fine always. Let's try some questions now. filling in the missing letter names and notes at semi-briefs. This is middle C. We can count down from here. On a stave, if we count from middle C, B is the letter prior to the C, so B is the space note before the C. The line note just before the B is A. G is just before the A. The note after G is F, and then E, C, A, F. Here's another question. Middle C is here, so the answer should be like this. On a stave, let's count by the memory aids this time. The memory aids of space notes from bass clef is "Our cows eat grass." For line notes is "Good boys do fine always." So G is on the first line, B is on the second line, D is on the third line, F is on the fourth line, and A is on the fifth line, and middle C is here. Another question. Let's write the letter names of these notes. The memory aid of space notes from bass clef is "Our cows eat grass." For line note is "Good boys do fine always." So the notes are if this note is G, the letter before it is F. This note is. So now, we have already learned the ways to count and find the notes for both treble clef and bass clef. Let's try some harder questions to see if we can combine the knowledge that we have already learned. Let's add the note in each space. Remember the time names, time values, and time signatures we learned from previous lessons? The time signature of this musical phrase is 2-4, which means there are 2 crochets in a bar. For the first note, we need to add an E as a crochet. It is bass clef, so the middle C is here. We can count down from middle C. C, B, A, G, F, E. The E crochet is here. The second note is middle C, so it is on the first letter line above the bass clef. The next one is G, quiver. Middle C is here. We count down from middle C. C, B, A, G. G is here. And the last one, we need a D as a quiver. If this one is G, these notes are F, E, D. Let's try the last question. The time signature is 4-4, so there should be 4 crochets in the bar. The first one is G, meaning it is treble clef. Treble clef starts on G, so G is here. The second one is A, a crochet. If G is here, A is the space note just above the G. The third one is E, quiver. We can count from middle C, C, D, E. So E is on the first line, and the last middle C, semi-brief. Finally, this is the end of the lesson. We have learned the stem direction we will write on the stave, the letter names of the notes from treble clef and bass clef. Hope you enjoyed the lesson, and don't forget, I will give you some questions to practice. Okay, see you in the next lesson!